I used to be an art dealer.
You know
Oh,
About
that.
really?
You know.
yeah, about 10 years back, I was heavy into like rare paintings, artifacts, you name it. My dad had an antique shop when I was growing up, so he
Wow.
knew the value of old Chinese, Japanese, artifacts, and even older stuff.
Wow,
So
that's amazing.
yeah, and that kind of got me into collecting at an early age. So I just collect what I love. I don't care if it goes to zero. I still love it. You
Yeah.
know.
And that's the collector's mindset, right? I
Yeah,
mean, like, collect
absolutely.
what you love, and if it goes to zero, you still love it. And
Yeah.
and that's probably why I gravitate to the comics. You know what I love about the comics, or what I love about VeVe, is I feel like VeVe has brought me. I mean, I've always been close with my wife and my kid, always, but I feel like it's even brought us even closer now because I was the only one that loved comics,
Hmm.
and collected comics. And now my wife wants to go to LCS. My daughter's always bugging me to go to the comic shop. We've got like a bunch of long boxes sitting right next to me, and they're not mine; they're theirs. And we're filling them up like crazy, man. And like my daughter's like, "Dad, I don't want to open this because I don't want it to like degrade." And I'm like, "How did you even know what degrade
No,
means,
I
right?"
know.
You know?
Okay. Okay. So, my whole thought was, when you reached out to Hinano and Hinano told me, um, I know we follow each other and we like our things we put on Twitter, but I really don't know like much about you. So my question was to if you could tell us a little bit about yourself, basically.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. My name is Fro. Uh, the name on the Twitter handle, that's my actual name. And with Vivi, I'm relatively new to the crypto and NFT space. All this is kind of new to me. I got into Vivi during the Go to Moment strike. Uh, yeah, I landed a Walt, which I
Oh,
still have.
Oh,
Yes,
congrats.
very nice.
Wow.
yeah. It was a leap of faith. So I had a relative that kind of told me about the Ecomi token, and he said, "Hey, check out this token," and it kind of just led into me finding about the VV app, which he introduced me to later. And I've been addicted ever since. I saw Walt coming up, and I must have put in maybe $400 just in case I got it. And if I missed it, he said just try to buy it on the secondary market. And lo and behold, I landed a Walt. Which I still have. I still have. Like I don't plan on selling that.
I need one.
Ever.
I want one.
That's your
Yeah. So I'm sorry, D.
no, no. I was gonna say that's your baby.
That is that and my VV logo. I met Dan and David at Comic Con last year, and I was one of the lucky few to get one of the VV gold and silver logos, which I still have, and I think I might hold on to those two forever. But like you said, D, that the Walt, that's my baby. I
Yeah.
landed that, and so it got up to almost $50,000 around Christmas last year,
Hmm.
and I still refuse to sell. You know, it's the love for Vivi and my belief in it. And when I say belief, I believe in the team, the co-founders, David, you and Dan. They understand how the NFT industry and business works. The VeVe team embraces change. Contrary to what people say on Twitter, I believe they do. And, and I say that because they've changed the edition sizes and they've changed the prices on the drop, and they respond to customer needs. So I know they adapt. And I've not seen CEOs that are this resilient. For example, they did not crumble when the dirty gems were exposed. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and instead of crumbling, they put measures in place to ensure that would never happen again. So I believe in the team. I believe we're in something special right now, and in the long haul, we're all gonna be glad we got in early.
So my question for you, Fro, if by some chance Dan and David called you on the phone and said, "Fro, we're at the airport. We need you to pick us up. We got a layover for the day, and we're gonna spend the day with you." So if Dan and Dave called you up and said, "Fro, pick us up," what would you do with Dan and David for the entire day? Would you take them to Disneyland? Would you take them out? What would you do with them?
Great question. Loaded question. There's so
Sell
many
them house
things.
in California.
So you can help out Alex since David's storing all his stuff at Alex's house in his garage. Alex, we got your back.
If
Get
you're
him a
watching,
warehouse.
Alex, I can get you a larger mansion.
I'm tagging Alex in this video.
It totally. I would be like a sponge. I would soak in all the knowledge and information that the two of them would have, to just pass on to me. It's one of those things where I'll take them to lunch, dinner, to the beach, Yosemite. It doesn't matter, like Disneyland. But on the way there, the way back, I would just be picking their brains. What makes them tick? Why are they so passionate about the NFT space? And what are their dreams and goals for VeVe in the future? I want to know more about the VeVe verse. And all this would be information that I would pass on to the VeVe family and the VeVe community. I wouldn't keep it to myself. It's information that I think that needs to be shared. I just couldn't keep that to myself. But to answer your question, I would take them wherever they want, as long as they get to pick their brains.
That's an awesome answer.
Yeah, that's a good answer, man. If they ever came to Hawaii, I probably would take them just sightseeing. I would probably take them to the beach. I would probably take David to go, look at like maybe some Polynesian art, or maybe the Polynesian cultural center or something like that, and then show them.
Oh, I love it.
Show them
love
some culture. Place. Maybe go meet some old kapunas or something like that. That's what I would do with them. Then I would take them to our LCS.
Buy everything in there.
Buy everything.
And then we'll ship it to Alex's house. So, back to like a VeVe question. Do you gravitate more towards the collectibles or the comics? What do you like to collect in VeVe?
Well, I have about close to 300 collectibles. I made a big shift about a month ago, and I have close to 800 comics now.
Wow!
So yeah, I went crazy on the comics. I literally just made a shift change. I love collectibles. I love the fact that we can do so many things in the vault. But with comics, I kind of just started buying up the ones that I loved, the ones that I want to hold on to, and I've just been stacking. Like, I went crazy on, Major Spider-Man 101. I think I have over 100 rarities, the first appearance of Morbius. And I think that's one of the more undervalued comic books out there too. So, there's plenty, there's a whole lot. I just can't mention them all, but that was one of my favorites. And, so yeah, it'll come a day where I probably will flip flop again and have more collectibles than I do comics. But between the two, I think I'm probably over 1,000 comics and collectibles now. And hopefully by the end of this year, I'm at 2,000.
So we got a massive collector in the house.
Just flying under the radar.
So humble too.
Man, you sound like a stealth bomber. What you talking about? So, and I agree with you about ASM 101. I mean, that is a really good comic. That Secret Rare is like one of the nicest ones with Spider-Man and his extra arms.
Yeah.
That is a good comic. It's sad that the movie took it down when, in reality, it's still a great comic. Which is your favorite comic in the app?
Besides that one, I've read quite a few. I'd probably say MC1. MC1, it's one of the first ones that was my comic grail, and I had to have it, and I kept buying and selling just to get enough. And this was when it was close to $200, and I'm like, I finally got one. The VeVe gods love me, So, yeah, MC1 is my favorite. So there's a couple that I read that I love as well, but that's kind of like the comic grail. I landed the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man on the drop. Got the rare.
Nice.
Yeah, and even though that's kind of what everyone's going for, I still, my heart, it's still set on MC1.
Yeah, and I can see that. It's a historic comic. I mean, it's what
absolutely
it's what started it all, and we can say as much like, oh, okay, AF-15 is Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's everyone's favorite, and we can also say Fantastic Four #1 started Marvel, but Marvel wouldn't even be a household name, if Marvel Comics 1 never came to fruition first. So it makes sense. It's a Genesis piece if you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's awesome, man. My favorite comic right now that I'm looking at and I'm slowly collecting is Jim 83. I love Thor, and I prefer the AF-15. I'm more of a Spider-Man fan, but because I feel like Jim 83 is being slept on, if you really look at the uncommon, it's cheap. Even the common's cheap, right? And it's the same rarity as AF-15, and it's just as big a book as AF-15 and Marvel Comics 1, and you can get those comics super cheap. So that's what I'm stacking right now.
Absolutely.
What about you, D? What is your favorite comic?
I don't know. Because my whole thing was I needed to try and read the comics more, because I think I started reading like one or two when I first got into VeVe, and then I kind of just stopped because I guess I didn't make time, to read them. But probably after going to our comic book shop, I'm probably gonna start collecting more. What do you call it? Jane.
Oh, Jane Foster. Yeah, Mighty
Jane
Thor.
Foster.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mainly because she's female, and not a lot of people I don't think are going for her. But yeah, those that in VeVe, and then for like DC, my all-time favorite is Wonder Woman. So yeah, she's pretty
everyone's
badass.
favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, she's badass. And I guess, what is your favorite comic book hero, Fro? Who do you gravitate to more?
Tough question. I love them all. I love them all. I grew up, probably, same era as you. We kind of got introduced to X-Men, and along came Spawn.
Yeah.
So yeah, good question. I love Wolverine. There's something about that little dude that he's feisty. He's always looking for that fight, and he's always angry all the time. So Wolverine. Many people may not agree, but I love Wolverine and his claws. So yeah, I look. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I can't wait to see him in the new Deadpool. He's making a comeback. So yeah.
Let alone Hugh Jackman as the actor. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
That's my guy right there, right?
And yes.
And if spoilers, if anyone didn't see Logan, when he dies, it's like, okay, that was a perfect ending to him. But now that he's back, I'm glad that they didn't end it right there. I'm glad we got like this multiversal thing that might happen, but I'm so excited to see him back in the role, and I hope they keep him there. Let's have an old man Logan still, right? Let's have Wolverine. My favorite superhero is Batman. I grew up with Batman as a kid. I used to watch Adam West, and I had a bunch of old comics that was given to me by my grandparents, and maybe I want to say maybe that's what's kind of started my comic book journey. I cannot really remember because I'm old already, but are older. But yeah, man, Batman. There's just something about the fact that this dude has no powers. He just has his skill set, his brain, and his money. And that's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's fighting gods and demons and like robotic people, and he's kicking butt. So yeah, Batman's my guy.
Solid choice.
Well, Fro, I don't want to take your time too much. I'll try to keep this at a short form format as normal, but I got one more question for you. It's a question that I like to kind of like end with every podcast. Why are you still here in VeVe? And what I mean by that, and I know you kind of already said that you believe in the team, but I kind of want to touch on that a little bit more, because we are in a bear market, and we've probably bought things back last year, January, and we bought them in the highs, and you're like me, you're probably a long-term holder, and I get that mentality from stocks. And that mentality for me, being a long-term holder, as hodler as they say, has paid off in tenfold for me. And so that's how I use that direction in my investing. But because VeVe's different, and it's the people's market, and we have to go with how the people feels, because the market's driven on emotions or news or something like that. What makes you stay here in VeVe? What drives you to stay here? I already know you believe in the team, but in terms of the money aspect, because you could just sell all your stuff and come back later kind of a thing, but what drives you not only to stay, but to keep buying?
Great question. I'd have to say I'm still here because of the VeVe family, the VeVe community as a whole. What I've learned is that the community has a positive mindset, for the majority. We support each other. We collaborate and use each other's strength and experiences for the VeVe fam to achieve common objectives. And I don't see that anywhere else in any other VeVe, non-related communities, other NFT projects. They just, there's a lot of FUD, more so than, you see on VeVe. But, it's, they come for VeVe usually. I see it all the time. And I'm a victim of, just random DMs, just random tweets that, they tell me to grow up, quit playing with my toys in my vault,
Really?
and yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. And sometimes, I just brush it off, but, it does, kind of make you think sometimes where if I'm putting out content, just to brighten someone's day, to give them a laugh, a little chuckle,
Yeah.
and they see it and they go, oh, that's funny, that's real funny. And there's someone out there just waiting to, you know, hit that, tweet button and just tell me to grow up and, just, why are you a grown man playing with toys? That's the fun that I'm talking about, that, that the other communities bring. And I see in their PSPs where they're coming from, and they're not VV users, but
Yeah.
they attack the VV community. Um, but yeah, it's even through all the bad, the negative. I still see the positive mindset of the ones that are truly here for the experience. The VV family, the ones that without a doubt, they put themselves out there and say, hey, I'm part of the VV fam, and I'm here, for the long ride, So and that's why I'm here, because we support each other, like
Exactly.
Man,
yeah.
if VeVe, if you're watching this, I really hope you heard what he just said, because he's absolutely right. We're here for the VeVe fam, and we're also here for you. So, thank you, Fro, for coming on, man. I am so excited that you said yes, let alone to a small pod like us. We're just a bunch of common folk. I mean, I'm just like a regular. I'm a telephone man, if anything, right? And I'm trying to like start a podcast with my wife, and so thank you, sir, for coming on, and thank you as well for telling us your stories. I don't know if the VeVe fam knows what chicken skin means, but in Hawaii, chicken skin is basically whenever you got those goosebumps on your skin and stuff like that. That's what chicken skin means. And this entire conversation we just had today, Fro, you gave me chicken skin, man. I had so much fun talking with you today, man. And I would love to get you back on the pod one day. If you ever want to come back on, or if you ever want to co-host and talk to someone else, I would love to have you on. You're always welcome on the pod.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love your attitude, your positiveness. I'm sure a lot of people felt the same way I did. So yeah, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us.
Yeah,
Thank you both for the kind words. Thank you. It was an honor to be on your podcast. Loved every second of it. You guys are wonderful people.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to speak to you both. Love it.
I got one more thing. The VeVe fam are watching us right now. There are people. What is one last thing you want to tell the VeVe fam right now before you go?
Support each other and be kind. Be kind. I've faced a lot of negativity in the last couple of months. It didn't discourage me for, not putting out funny content, photos, videos. It's the ones, the positive ones that, keep me going. So be kind to each other. Because, we're all in this together.
Absolutely. We're all in this together, man. That is awesome. Fro Ecomi, thank you for coming on the pod, man. It's been an honor. Anything else you want to say, D?
Well, if everyone is listening and if they want to come and check out your content that you put out and get some more positiveness in their life, where can they find you?
On Twitter, I am at Fro, FRO_Clover. That's a city in South Carolina where I spent my childhood, and pretty much where I learned to, just be a good old boy, just to run around barefoot, So, yeah, look for me, Fro_Clover, and I'll follow you back.
Awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This has been the Real Uncommon Podcast, and we are out. Take care, fam.